This conference will now be recorded.
The Wiseman Road that has never been chlorated before, but there's sections that are problematic for us with lots of hills and washboards. Well, we got sections of road, Chicken Creek being one of them. We can go out there and grade that thing once a week to try to keep those washboards, in place. So we took some away from another road and we put it on that road. So we're trying to do that without increasing our use. And right now we're behind on our use, but we're also behind on the whole program.
Well, it looks like it's not as sloppy as it used to be most places, but I think it's doing a good job, don't you, or not?
Yeah, so far, we've got a new group of people that are now complaining that we haven't magged. People that have complained about us magging in the past, now we are behind on our magging because of the weather. And now in the last week, it quit raining and things dried up quickly. And I've got phone calls from people that are now wondering when we're going to mag. And these are the people that have complained about magging. So I'm going to tell you that's a fact. It's a horrible kind of a thing, but it's also, it's worth it once it's there.
Yeah,
Everybody loves it once it's
I
there.
really believe it.
But I didn't change the dollar amounts on the mag. That's the kind of the bottom line of that story. That is the same. And now to the bridge that you're asking. The bridge, I got one bridge that's supposed to be built next year, and that's the bridge where we had the issue with the grant cap, and the bid came in, and that's the one over by Wheeler Lumber. That was where we had 800,000. We had budgeted for years for that. Now all of a sudden it's 1.92 or whatever. I got it budgeted for 2 million just because I don't know. There's always something it seems that comes up. I know it was brought up by Mr. Kinnenberg about doing the STIP program on that. I'd really not like to do that. I would like to just go forward with covering that whole bridge at one time. We'll have less money in bridges this year than we had, or next year than we have this year, but I just don't want to lose that revenue, that 3.3 million or 330,000 that we get for STP money every year. That's where that would be paid if we finance. So that just comes out of my revenue source anyway. So I don't want to lose that if I don't have to.
Well, to give a little background, what the DOT's answer has been is if you're over budget, and we're gonna supplement part of that, about 15% of certain items, but you should reapply if you're over the engineer's estimate too far. Yankton had $4 million engineer's estimate that came in. The bids came in at 8 million and 12 million. And so in that case, you would have to reapply, right? But in our case, we're close enough.
It's close enough
that cash that why delay it indefinitely,
correct,
up to 3 years.
We got the 15%.
Yep.
And then they also felt that the two bids were competitive, so the Transportation Commission felt that was
compelled
justified.
Yep.
So I'm asking for the whole amount in this budget to cover that, so we don't have to go to the next year and rob Peter to pay Paul and just take it out of our future budget.
And what's happening is the availability of the grant money is going to diminish because of these reapplications that are so far over budget.
I believe so.
We've been working on that Plywood Bridge for over 9 years.
Yeah, that's the problem with bridges. Once they get a grant, that doesn't mean it's done. So anyway, that's kind of covers the plan, and then that gets us over here to our to this the worksheet where we are on this. Okay, so these items that are on this.
Show us what you're looking at.
Oh, this one right here. This is kind of the nuts and bolts of the whole budget.
R&B.
Yep, that's right.
Sure.
So the top there is, the 2,011,629, and that's including all of our wages, insurance, and the likes. That's everything that Brenda has applied to this budget. And I think that also reflects the 10% that the department heads have asked.
And
Okay.
health insurance.
Health insurance, retirement, everything's in that number. So going away from that, everything that I've put together for you is You know, our radio maintenance, it's been 2,500. It's been 2,500 for a long time, and I guess I don't see a reason to raise that, so I have not raised that. The R&B supplies, which is $7,489,910. That will be the total of everything on this list that we just went through, and then our other subsequent items such as tires and fuel and everything that I guess doesn't fall under a 5-year plan, but falls under. Oh, here it is. This is where I needed Brian Dean's computer. I need a way better deal. Jesus, I need to work on that. But that would include all of our items such as tires, fuel, grease, oil, our hot mix and cold mix, supplies like that aren't project supplies, just our random maintenance supplies. There you go. So that's how we get to the $7,489,910. Office supplies 5,000 hasn't changed. Our drug and alcohol testing is at 4,000. We did not take any or add any to that. Or the roads and bridges travel, we have not added anything to that, nor have we added to our utilities. I hope the utilities, this year our utilities took the biggest hike that so far have seen. So I hope that it comes in under this amount. But I did leave that the same because I'm hoping, and it looks like it will. At the halfway point, we're right about half of that budget. So I'm a little concerned about that one, but I did leave that the same. And on the very end there, you'll see our capital assets, and that is for this loader. We're wanting to replace, we have 5 loaders in our fleet. The newest one was purchased just to load our belly dumps once we got into the belly dump business. And that machine stays with kind of that job title. Our other 4 loaders, we have 2 in Deadwood, 1 in Whitewood, 1 in Spearfish. 2 of them, one's a 1984, one's a 1985. 1984, 1985. Cat 950Bs. I've offered, and I talked to Brian Dean, I would give one of those to them, but I wouldn't feel good doing it. I don't think they're fine as our backup machines, but they're not good for a primary piece of equipment. It's time to replace. Our John Deere loaders that we do use as primary, they're 2009, so they're getting pretty old too. We're starting to have issues with them.
Chuck left because he said if the Lawrence County ever bought anything but a cat, he was leaving.
Yeah, well, the bid I got is the quote I got is from Caterpillar. It's a Sourcewell quote, and it's $315,421.58, and then the snow pusher is $32,184. I again applied the 5% increase to the machine, and that's where I came up with that price, that $363,379. That does not reflect the sale of one of those machines. I have been doing a little research on selling the old cats. They're more valuable than you would think. I think we can get around 30,000. It looks like I found some just like it on Purple Wave that sold anywhere from $26,000 to $35,000 for those old machines. They're fairly valuable still. And I didn't apply any of that to the revenue source. But I could expect to see that, and that's what we would do. I guess we'd want to sell one of those machines. We don't need any more loaders. We need to start replacing.
I know you can't
page, John.
Go ahead, Randy. Or Richard.
You said your utilities didn't go up, but the way I look at it, the budget part didn't go up, but the actual expense 21 it went up 25,000 thereabouts over the last few years.
Yes.
If you look at 2023, we've spent, we're 6 months in, so we're going to be at 64,000.
But if you look
Plus the increases we're expecting next year in utilities are pretty phenomenal. So I think it's going to be. I think he's going to be. He might be over a couple grand, but I think he's real close. We just don't know.
That's right. I didn't change it because of the unknown, but
I don't go back.
We know
I was just like, that's kind of what we spent this year because they've been going up every year so much. And I think they took a jump during COVID.
I'm afraid that we're going to be real close this year, and then for next year. I just didn't change it because just the unknown. And I was trying to keep the dollar amount down.
Yes, it's all in.
But I got to tell you, I mean, you know, to fix what we have on the books as far as bridges and keeping the pavements that we have, I didn't have anything added in pavements here, just to maintain what we got. And that's kind of our legacy here is all the old timers that have been around. I mean,
Well,
we didn't win for a long time where we didn't work on bridges because we didn't have to. Well, now we got a lot of bridges that need work on. And when we leave and the next group of people take over, you know, we can always say that these bridges were repaired and replaced under your guys' watch. And maybe the next group of people don't have to mess with it.
well, the county road that you have and take care of, you don't have to drive very far into another county and realize we've got the best county roads in the world.
You know
They
where
are
the county line, where the
fantastic.
county line is normally.
We try our best to keep it.